Alright guys, so yesterday we talked about the water cycle, and today we're talking a little bit more about that water cycle and where that water goes. So remember yesterday we kind of went into great detail on the water cycle. Specifically we talked about evaporation and transpiration. Remember we were talking about the fact that evaporation takes place at a molecular level. So it's not like the whole lake is disappearing, it's literally disappearing one molecule of water at a time. And so we get that evaporation, and then how do the clouds start to form?
Water. Have water.
Condensation. Well, how does condensation take place?
Well,
The water vapor turns into droplets.
How?
It goes up and cools.
And why does it cool down?
air pressure.
Not so much the air pressure, but it's the altitude of the air. So as that starts to rise, right, we have this dew point, this magical altitude that's our dew point, and then we start to coalesce, to condense, we get our condensation, and then we start to rain with the precipitation. And then where does that water go once it starts to precipitate?
Clouds.
Okay, so where does it go once we've precipitated?
Clouds.
Okay, so it runs off. So basically we had two options. We can run off the land and go into storage such as lakes and streams, or we could actually infiltrate down into the ground. So we're going to look at today and tomorrow is mostly looking at this from surface water. And why is surface water? Here's a wild guess or question for you. Where do you think surface water is?
On the surface.
It's on the surface. That was difficult. Okay, so guys, what is water? Wow, that was bad. Let's rephrase that. What is runoff?
Movement of water slides out.
Okay, and what makes it run off?
The angle of the
Gravity. Okay, so when we think about the movement of water, the major force behind that is gravity. When we think about what makes water flow, it's gravity. And gravity is going to pull it downhill or down the slope until it hits a flat piece of land, and then it spreads out. So that's all runoff is. It's water that's flowing down the slope, down the hill. And when that happens, we get erosion. So let's take a look at some pictures real quick here. I know you did. So erosion.
Is that like mountains?
No, actually, this is, we'll talk about each one of these here in a little bit more. The one up here on the upper left, this is a pasture that had basically a cutoff right here. And as the water's flowing down, it simply started to eat back. And it worked its way back up through the field and all around. So this is really, again, you think about where we live in Gare, we're a farming community. We think about erosion. It's not really a good thing if you're a farmer and your field keeps eroding away. Eventually, you're not going to have a field left to sow your crops. The image on the right is from Madagascar. Madagascar has this really thick layer of limestone. And what happened is the limestone cracked, starting these fissures. And what you're actually seeing here are these very tall, right down here is the bottom of the valley. And these are very tall spires, and the rainwater comes in and dissolves away that limestone, and you're left with these very thin, razor-sharp rocks that jut up from the ground, and you can just kind of walk your way down through these canyons. It's a really neat experience there. And then you have one of my favorite places to go, places to see, and I think it just kind of grabs the imagination.
What? That just grabbed mine.
This is called Antelope Canyon. And the Antelope Canyon is part of the Colorado River. And you can see how the movement of water through this canyon ground away at the rocks, and you get these nice, smooth contour lines. And it's a really beautiful place to go. It's not inaccessible to most people. I mean, if you take a look at that person right here, figure if they can get down there, most people can. So here's some more pictures of Antelope Canyon. Yes. So here are some pictures that I think you guys might like about this.
What's that one with the bright light?
That's where, literally, that's the sun, and the way that the rocks are shaped, all you're left with is a single beam of light coming down from the sun.
And the whole thing?
Yeah, well, that's just in that location. You know, other locations, they look like this. But to me, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to go. In this picture, I know you guys can't really see it, but you guys see that right down here, these lines? That is literally loose sand. That it's basically called a sandfall, like a waterfall. And this loose sand is pouring down from the upper levels, and it's constantly pouring down like an hourglass.
So maybe it's gradually going to get filled up.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's Antelope Canyon.
Sweet. I say we go there.
I would love to go there.
Why is that guy on fire?
How long?
Guy is not on fire.
Oh, guy, that's
He's standing in the sunlight.
He looks like he's on fire.
He does look like he's on fire.
All
Alright, so guys, let's get back to our lesson here. We have all these. So, we talked about erosion and the fact that it's not always a good thing. So, my question is then, what affects erosion? How can we reduce erosion? And the easiest way to reduce erosion